Hey everyone, I'm Daria of A Life Aligned, and today I'm super excited to share with you my favorite thing for self-care that you can do anytime, anywhere, even when you're driving. Are you ready for my secret? It's called breathing. And you might be thinking, Daria, what does breathing have to do with self-care? But in a word, pretty much everything. In the 90s, as a child, I was diagnosed with ADD. And as an adult, I hated taking medication. So I pretty much just dealt with what it's like to have ADD in our society until I found my breathwork practice. And that changed everything for me. By incorporating intentional breathing into every single day, I'm now able to cultivate my own sense of peace and calm inside my mind and my body. I've been able to clear the clutter of the landscape that is my mind so that I can focus in ways that were nearly impossible before. Today, I'm going to teach you a little bit about the mechanics of breathing. So like how we can breathe better and use our bodies in the most optimum way possible to get the most benefit from our breath. And then I'm going to guide you through a short practice so you can experience those calming and relaxing effects of a breathing practice. Thanks for being here. Okay, so first things first, I want you to find a comfortable seat. So you can be sitting on a chair, on a stool, on your bed. I'm on the floor. Definitely you can sit on the floor. If you do sit on the floor, make sure you have something underneath your booty so that you're not tucking into that low back area. You want to be forward on your pelvis, legs lower than your pelvis. Now that we've all found our comfortable seat, I'm going to share a little bit more about breathing. So we have our nose and our mouth. The nose is for breathing and the mouth is for eating. The nose has these little hairs inside of it. So as you inhale, it's filtering out all the impurities so that when it reaches your lungs, it's nice and clean. And we also have mucus in our nose, which I know is like a huge shock for at least 95% of you. But what it's doing is actually acting as a little heater for the air that we're breathing in. So we're breathing in through our nose and it's getting purified and filtered and warmed so that it's absolutely perfect by the time it hits our lungs. Which brings me to, where are my lungs? You probably already know where your lungs are, but I just want to remind you because it's not something that we think about all the time. But our lungs are pretty big and take up a lot of space in our torso. They come all the way up to the top, right here. We have our clavicle, the top of the rib barrel. And then all the way down here, we have our floating ribs. And then we have the front side, the side, and the back side of the lungs. So really when we're breathing, we can send our breath into different places of our body. I know you've heard probably belly breathing. Are you breathing in your chest? So knowing our anatomy a little bit more, or being more in touch with our anatomy can help us use our breath in a way to maximize our breath and our breathing. So for our practice today, we're basically just gonna do a little tour of the lungs. And I'm gonna tell you where to focus your awareness as you're doing this breathing. And you'll experience how relaxing and calming and focusing intentional breathing can be. So as you are in your comfortable seat, I invite you to bring your eyes to a soft gaze down below. If you'd like to close your eyes, I invite you to close your eyes. You can do that as well. And I'm going to ring the bell and we'll get started with a little breathing practice. For your first several breaths, as you breathe in and out through your nose, I want you to just observe your breath. So you might notice temperature of the breath as you inhale. Any smells that might be permeating the air. And then I want you to notice as you breathe in, is your breath long or is it short? And then noticing, is the breath shallow or is it deep as you breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose. And then I want you, with your awareness, to start sending the breath to the low back ribs. So we're in your back body at the very base of your lungs. And so see if you can just breathe into that space for the next 3 breaths or so. Breathing in through the nose. And exhaling, emptying the lungs. Noticing the low back lungs. And then for our next handful of breaths, just move your awareness up the back body a little bit. You can start breathing into that mid-torso space in the back body. Breathing in deeply through the nose and exhaling as deeply as you inhaled. You might even think of this place as the back of the heart. So let's just send 2 more breaths, breathing into the back of the heart. Maybe watching the shoulder blades soften a little bit as you inhale and exhale, completely emptying the breath. And next we'll continue bringing our awareness up to the top of the back of the lungs. Just breathing into this space, maybe separating the clavicle, the backs of the shoulder blades with this breath. Breathing in through the nose, and deeply exhaling. One or 2 more breaths here, breathing in through the nose to the upper back lung lobes. And for our next several breaths, let's bring our awareness to the front of the chest. So the upper lung areas, the space right underneath, maybe your clavicle, your shoulder, in between your shoulders. So as you inhale, maybe watching the chest rise and expand as you inhale. And then everything softens back towards center as you exhale. Taking 2 more breaths, breathing in through the nose to the front upper lungs. Exhale. And then we'll move our awareness down to the middle of the torso and the front body. So as you breathe in, maybe the front ribs expand a little bit. They widen as you inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, watching the ribs gather as you collect. Two or three more breaths here, breathing in through the nose. Exhale. And then we're going to bring our awareness to the low front ribs. So we're in front body, and you got your floating ribs there, or maybe part of it. So maybe as you inhale, those ribs might flare a little bit forward and out. And exhaling deeply, letting everything gather. And this is nice and subtle, so even if we're not making some big movement, we're still doing the exercise. About 3 more breaths for yourself here. And after your next exhale, I want you to release forming the breath and just let your body breathe naturally. And you can observe how your breath is now. Just noticing with no judgment, breathing in and breathing out. Just enjoy about 3 more breaths here. Continue following your in-breath and following your out-breath. And I'm going to ring the bell to finish our practice. So I invite you to gently open your eyes, coming back into your space, your room. And maybe putting your hands on your heart, you can just thank yourself for showing up today to learn more about yourself and more about how you can better serve your own self. Beautiful job, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me with this practice. Try to keep them short and sweet for you. I will definitely be back next week with another exercise and lesson for us all. And I would love to hear how this went for you in the comments. So let me know how you're feeling after this practice and what you think you're gonna try and do for yourself in the future in terms of having a breathing practice. I just wanna hear from you. I'm definitely curious and interested if this helped you. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.